Yeah, everybody, welcome back to the Iron Woodsman. Sorry I've been absent for a while, but I'm gonna start making several cold weather clothing reviews, and I'm gonna try to put at least two a week on. I'm gonna cover today. I'm gonna cover one garment at a time. I'm gonna cover sweaters, jackets, wool garments, synthetic, American made, and non-American made. And I'm just going to try to cover the gamut because in Middle Tennessee here, it's been very cold here lately. Usually the average temperatures here where I live in southern Middle Tennessee, they range from in the wintertime, it could be up to 60, raining, sunny, and then like 2 weeks ago we had this Arctic blast that came through and it was 0, and it was -8 at night. And it stayed that way around that range for days. So yes, it does get cold here in the south, contrary to popular belief. But today, our review is going to be on one of my favorite wool garments, and it is the WeatherWool anorak. This is the what they call the owl's anorak. I bought this garment probably it's been at least 6-7 years ago, about 6 years ago, I believe. But it is a heavy duty, I forget the ounce weight of this. It may be between 24 and 26 ounce. I'm not sure. It says on the website, WeatherWool, or it might be 8. I think if it is 18 ounce, it sure is heavier than that. It's extremely tight woven wool. And it's a high-end piece, but there's a reason that they charge a pretty penny for this thing. When I bought it, when I bought this sucker, it was probably, here you go, you can see better. I think it was $4.95, guys. And that's not chump change, I know, but it didn't come out of my savings or anything, out of my account, out of my bill paying money. I'd actually had a 10-gallon water jug that I had been filling up with change for like 7 or 8 years. And then one day I decided I'm going to buy something nice for myself. And I just took that change and cashed it in. And, so I treated myself, I guess, with a pretty fancy wool garment. But can't tell you good enough things about this garment. I'm going to slip it on here in just a second and show you the features of it. But the sides zip down almost to underneath the armpit, because if anybody has put on a heavy wool piece, especially an anorak, they know they don't necessarily go on easy. And this is a 2X, which is what I typically wear, between a 2X and an extra large. Just depends on the garment. But anyway, let me put this puppy on real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Slip this baby on. It's not the easiest thing. Excuse my... Better pull this off just for a second, or I'll never get this thing on. Oh my gosh. And this is the 2X, guys. But, of course, I've got it underneath a heavy weight. It's a military, surplus polypropylene wicking base layer, But as you can see, it's a beautiful piece of clothing. And it's about 30-something degrees out here, so I'm covering the noggin. First thing you'll notice if you buy one of these puppies is it's almost, you immediately start to feel the warming nature of the garment. I'm 6'2". I go between 220 and 210 pounds. It depends on how much lasagna I've had. But I want to show you how this thing looks on me, just to give you a size and height for reference. Alright, gonna do the spin. Walk out a little. Okay. Now, the pocket down here is large and it does button, so you can seal anything in this pocket. You can see my breath. The hood is giant, but the hood is big. It's extra large to be made to wear with a hat or with a beanie, like a wool beanie, like I have, a watch cap, whatever you want to call it. So giant hood. It does have cinch, awesome cinch cords around the hood where you can bring it in real tight. It also buttons all the way up here. The sleeves, as you can see, there's a little different type of quality on here. You don't see this often. Those are slot buttons. And slot buttons is stitched with this military thread that they have on here. It tells you all this on the website. But extremely durable, won't pull off easy. You can tighten up these cuffs just to your liking. Same thing here on the neck. The V comes out to open up, cools you off a little bit. Starts getting colder, then you know what? Button them up. They button up real easy. Slot buttons are easy to work and they don't pull out of wool fabric as easy because the whole strip here, as you can see, is stitched up with double stitching. Let's see what else. Oh, inside the pocket itself there are elastic, like security sewn in chambers where you can like clip a carabiner with keys. You can slip a wallet in there and it keeps it real, you know, you can't really see it, but it keeps it real secure. It's all sewn in. There's all kinds of extras on this thing. It's almost like a custom garment. And well, honestly, you're about paying a custom price for it, but you know what they say, buy once, cry once or twice. But anyway, on the sides, as you can see here, the zips, they zip up to get in and out of this easy. You see these flaps, you know, and then zip them down. And then at the bottom, if you want to really secure them, they also have a slot button with a stretchy piece of webbing to secure that. Let's see here. Oh yeah, hidden inside the back, you can see this is a drawstring around the torso. You can actually cinch from about right here up. You can cinch this off and draw it into you. You can probably see on the back what I've done here. It's a little bit tightened. That way the draft don't go right up if you're outside working with this thing, which is, of course, you know, what you can easily do with a garment like this. The wool is extremely tight wove. If anybody has ever dealt with a Mackinac cruiser, like a Filson Mackinac, they know that the sleeves and you know, the wool is very tight wove. Can't hardly see sunlight through it when you hold it up to the sun. So tighter weave than normal, extremely high quality. Before I purchased this, it was such a, you know, it was a pricey purchase. So before I did it, I called up WeatherWool and the owner answered the phone, which his name is Ralph DeMayo. I'm pretty sure I got that last pronunciation correct. I can't tell you how to be the founder of this company, and he and his crew designed this wool. And if you go onto the WeatherWool website, you'll see all kinds of you'll see all kinds of products that they offer, and some are a lot more expensive than this. And of course, this has went up in price. Now this is $600 plus now. Prioritize, guys. That's all I can say. If you want something like it, you'll buy it. And I'll have to say, you can see why they charge a lot. And it is American made. It's 100% American made. And I told you the way I bought it was random 7 or 8 years of putting change back in a bottle. But if you think about all the stuff you spend money on, internet, crappy clothes, boots, fast food, junk food, crap that you don't even need, concerts that you might go to, vacations that you might take. If you really want something pricey, a garment, some people think that's insane paying that much, and I get it. I mean, because sometimes I go to the Goodwill and I have found merino wool shirts that look like they've been unused, which would cost like $150. You know how expensive merino wool base layers are. $5.99 at Goodwill if you look careful enough. Now, I'm not a Goodwill, I'm not a Goodwill junkie, quite yet, but I'm getting there. But anyway, just little gems that you can find to save you money. But yes, this is pricey. The hood, I will show you, has a toggle on the back. Just say you want to cinch it down, but you want peripheral vision. You cinch down, tighten up this hood, and once you tighten up, say, this top button, but you got to tighten this puppy up. Watch this. Press it, press it. You see how that's scrunched down around my face now? That is what you call a microclimate that you've created around your head. No matter how I turn my head, the hood moves with me so I can see everywhere. My head doesn't pivot in the hood, which is why this is this way. So there's so many adjustments on this garment, and that's, and when you figure in all these extras that they have put on this particular, anorak, then you start to realize, they can't make it for nothing. I think DeMayo and his crew, his wife, his kids, all that, they spent years trying to develop the fabric. But I just can't say enough about it. Check out WeatherWool online. This thing is so warm. With a thin silk weight t-shirt, a heavyweight base layer, which is what I have on now, and I got wool and synthetic, I go back and forth, but you definitely need a wicking base layer. And you put this thing on, you can be as comfortable in 60 degrees if you're sedentary and not moving much, or you can be comfortable in minus 10 degrees, whether you're active or not. But now, if you think you're going to throw this thing on with a t-shirt underneath it and walk out in 30-degree weather and you're going to be warm all day, that's not what it's made for. Wool's made to be layered. Now, you're not going to freeze, but don't be stupid. Layer properly, and the garment will not disappoint you. Good talking to you guys again. Thank you for your time, and this is the Iron Woodsman signing out. See you again soon.